people are interested in watching the laser cut and engrave. So I'm just posting a video of an interesting design, circular box, elliptical box from Inkscape extension. Hi, it's Marion McCarowitz, and I have a pre-release Glowforge. We're going to make a small box and print it. So your extensions and laser tools, and there is your elliptical box maker. The millimeters works if you try to, at least if I tried to put it in the inches, and what our inches thickness would be of the material, nothing. So we're doing millimeters, and it's proof grade about 3.6. We're just going to make a circular box, 40 millimeters in diameter and 40 millimeters wide. The cut distance is a little big. I tested this ahead of time. You want to probably go about 2.5 or 2 to really get this right, but this is the setting I used here, and it went around, but you can see how it didn't quite make it all the way through. I could have used more power and some old MDF maple plywood I had that didn't make the grade, and but in any case it worked. Boom. So there you are, and the default stroke size is pretty big on this, so I'm going to change that and then also turn it into red. There's also some interesting things about this box. In this case, this case, you need two sides. Okay, so there's our two sides, and we're gonna just put them in just like this. Okay, so save that. That's it. You can throw this into the Glowforge and it'll process it. So we'll grab it, get another copy of it, round box test, plop it in, and I have the remains of the box that I actually cut in there, but and see how it gets imported in. This, notice it's all there ready to go. Now what'll be fascinating is watch how this gets interpreted. It's a fascinating way to do the cup operations. So in any case, we'll stop this and we'll switch to the print version of it. I brought this in and putting it in a bunch of scrap and putting it pretty tight. Move that over. Good. This should work. This elliptical box maker is pretty cool, but you'll see in the cut operations that the way it's laid out and not joined, I just brought everything in. The files are grouped but not combined. So each one of these is a separate line. going in. So you see this line and that line and that line. And so that has some effect on the cut order because these aren't continuous line segments. They're all individual line segments on this. And while the living hinge looks pretty good in terms of individual lines, but when you examine it in Inkscape, it's not all joined together, so that has some consequences in the cut order. Doesn't make too much of a difference to me. Some folks get really excited about efficiency in cut order. I'm happy to have a laser. So and yeah, so it makes it fascinating. So it'll be a good video to watch and just kind of see how it jumps around and goes to it. So I'm gonna print this one, and then I'll show a video, queue up a video of a previous box that I cut. So you can see how the Glowforge is plotting this 16-minute cut. See the little red lines going out? That's the cut order. So the way the living hinge file was made in Inkscape creates fascinating cut pattern. And so you can see it getting outlined here. Probably just barely visible in the video.
Darn it.
So here's a elliptical box I made, my first one, and just notice how fine those lines are. This is non-proof grade, uh, three, 3.25 or 3.5, 3.3 millimeter plywood, and let's get it. Yeah, 1.2 inch. So, oh yeah, this is 2.27 millimeter. Oh no, 2.3. Yeah, 3.14 millimeter plywood. Some scrap I had. Notice the flashback in here. Kind of hard to get some light in there, but pretty scorched. But just absolutely amazing how fine those lines are, how perfectly it fits together. And then here's the lid. So with the masking on, it'd be pretty clear. So here's the box put together. Need some kind of hinge mechanism, but pretty cool. Pretty cool thing. Now this one is, I spaced out the living hinge about what I use for my matchbook box. And notice the matchbooks, see how the radius goes on there? But what happened was I didn't quite go all the way through. I kind of kiss cut it, so some of those it didn't make it all the way through the layers of the plywood. I had not tweaked those settings a bit, even though this one is particularly proof grade. It was pieces of scrap, so I had some maple MDF in there, some walnut, a couple other pieces. So I wasn't quite sure what I was cutting, and the QR code wasn't quite clear for all the other pieces. But anyway, it did roll all the way around. I mangled it a little bit, pulling off the masking. So a couple of those teeth out here, and this is just not quite all the way through that it could be. so it would open up like that. So you notice the opening up that's required. But it works. I didn't take all the masking off. So one of the things is the masking is wonderful, but getting it off, I got to get the Gorilla Tape. I don't have any Gorilla Tape yet. So there you go. Boom. It's ready. Take the masking off. And boom. Now, getting the masking off a living hinge. This is where the Gorilla Tape's supposed to come in, but that's not too bad. I got a good thumbnail. So a little post-processing, but sure beats having to finish anything. Wonky, here's spot. Take that out. So that's I'm missing a tooth right there. There you go. Messed up there, but this is some proof grade, really nice, but it was mangled a little bit and had been scrapped, so that's cool. And now we have a test piece. So here's my little fish box, and notice there's just nothing left of the inner core. So, but I wanted to see how it processed and see those go in for the sides, and it works. This not too good, but no conflagration in the Glowforge, but the lid kind of broke apart. But anyway, these guys go right in there, boom, and got to clean out those holes there. But anyway, this will go along right there. So here's the fish, and I think this is ready for proof grade, although I think I'll redo it because those cuts are just too small. You don't need them that fine. That's about 0.07 width in between those. So that's a little too much. 2 millimeters would be better. This one's 3 millimeters. This one's 0.07 millimeters. So if you want to think about kerf and how precise. So here's the back piece, and anyway, this will go in the middle here, and you got shark, and then here is the lid piece, goes like that, got a lid and another lid, and the rest of it's just, but anyway, pretty cool. So that's the test of making elliptical boxes. Here's the elliptical fish box cut in cardboard just to test, see how it worked out. This is a good example of flashback. Non-proof grade plywood, no masking. So pretty dark. Here's some proof grade maple. I think it was the old MDF. Pretty wide spacing on the living hinge. You can see how wide the gap is to make it bend. Needs a little bit narrower. And so here's a good copy with I believe 2 millimeter spacing in the kerf, and here's the final box about 1.5 inches. Thanks for watching.